Airports are my life. I am a gypsy, trapped in an actor's body. I go from place to place. So we transfer, we switch off, we take carry-on bags, we check our luggage, we tip people, we travel. Because that's what we do. Help me.
Mr. Bruce Campbell.
So, I noticed that you're doing a documentary. I mean, what prompted you to do this?
I'm calling it Fanalysis because I've encountered fans for years, and I've always found it fascinating, the roots of fandom.
Fascinating.
This is my friend Richie.
Why are people fans? Why are they fans to the extent that they're going to spend, 40 weeks making a costume that'll walk across the stage for 4 seconds? That's fascinating to me.
I don't think there is such a thing as an average fan. I think it's more about the levels of intensity of fandom.
I have never seen a character that has really affected me as much as Xena has.
I've been a Trekkie my whole life. My dad made me watch it as a child. I'm scarred for life.
My dad has every episode on tape.
Yes, so does my dad.
There are various stratas of fandom like in any other group of people, whereas you have people with lives and families and kids and jobs and all of that, and they occasionally rent a movie at Blockbuster and watch it at home.
And then the next level, they just buy a few dolls.
A cult fan, I guess, I sort of define it personally as when costuming and lingo starts to come into like their day-to-day lives.
Then there's the third type, which is where I am, which is mildly obsessive.
Nancy, the nutcase, will bow to the TV and once in a while forget that she's watching the show and she'll be in the show.
And then you have
the geek. The guy who's lost.
The top level is somebody that does plastic surgery on themselves, changes their name, wears a costume.
And then there's the poor souls who, you can tell by looking at it, that they have nothing more to live for, and it's really sad.
I'd say there's probably only 5 levels, because about the 5th level, we're really talking lawsuits and police.
I love you.
I was 15 when I saw Army of Darkness, and that's what first started me getting into Bruce Campbell. And if I was a fan of anybody else, I would be flat broke.
Yes, sir.
What is it like as an actor to come to these things and see people who are wearing your likeness on their shirts?
Shop smart! Shop smart!
And just apparently seem to eat, sleep, and breathe your show.
To be honest, the concept of fandom to me is too surreal to have an impact. When I go home to the Pacific Northwest, it does not affect my day-to-day life.
The problem I always sort of run into is I'll go into a FedEx office to mail something, and I'll get the woman behind the counter going, "Hey, you look familiar. Are you an actor?" Yeah. What have I seen you in? Oh, I've been in, do you watch television? No. Name some stuff. And it's like, well, look, can you please just take my package? Everyone can say they're a fan of something. One time I wrote a fan letter to Steve McQueen. I saw his movie Papillon, which was in the 70s. Dear Steve McQueen, I like all your films and Gomorrah, and I think I sent it to, Steve McQueen, actor, Hollywood, USA. And, of course, I got no response, and it bummed me out horribly.
I wrote 2 fan letters as a kid. One to a guy who wrote a book about sea animals, who wrote me back, actually. The other fan letter I wrote was to, what was that guy's name? He was some actor on The Outer Limits. I can't remember what his name was, but I got a letter back from his estate telling me that he had died. But he was already dead.
Fan mail itself is a fascinating concept. The fact that someone would send a letter to you, hoping that you'll read it in the comfort of your own home and be impressed.
Dear Mr. Campbell, I wrote a short story about a guy named Norm who likes to torture small animals and sink bugs in the toilet by I'm an autopsy pathologist and enjoyed Army of Darkness. May I use your photo of skeletal hands reaching up to the Bruce Campbell. Go, Bruce, go sing We Are the World with your activist friends. I have written to you many times before asking intelligence. Dear Mr. Campbell, I think I should get a life. I'm mailing a non-popular actor about a non-popular greetings, Bruce. Even though you do some of the cheesiest stuff I've ever seen, you're great at what you do.
How about Tucson, Arizona? It feels like a card, not really a letter. It'll be like a horse or something, or a... Oh, no, it's a cactus that has crushed a car.
Dear Bruce, not only are you talented, but goddamn sexy as well. Hope you're not offended by such a comment from another male. And if you are, I couldn't give a shit. So keep up the good work and more shirtless scenes. Thanks.
I use an email address for any fan that wants to send something to me. How's it going, Bruce? I wrote before and was happy that I actually received a response. A lot of people said, oh, you must have gotten your agent to do that response. I said, you kidding? I can't even get my agent on the phone. He's not going to do my email. Every so often, I will get one that is just a zinger. Each email has a little subject heading, and this one is, sorry about your acting career.
I was pretty amazed to hear you're working on writing a book. I wasn't sure you were literate. Well, I mean, I knew you could push the button when you wanted another banana. I'm only about halfway through.
When it's convention time, when it's public appearance time, I do sort of break out the reasonable clothes. I'm hoping that the fans want to see someone who's approachable, that you're not wearing a Hugo Boss suit or whatever. I wouldn't know a Hugo Boss suit if it jumped out and bit me in the ass. You know, I'll go from your sort of dumb sandals with socks, I'll probably go to a nicer shoe or a goofier shoe. You know, I might have to dust the crap out of these because I'm getting a little too much rural dust. You know, I might go a little kookier. This is a martini shirt. That'll be for the Evil Dead crowd because, unfortunately, these maniacs can drink during the shows. So, you know, I gotta wear stuff that looks good with beer spill all over it. I actually know some actors who are tormented by fans, just tormented. They think they're all crazy and they're all these, 900-pound couch potatoes. You know, there's always a grain of truth in some of that. I look at it as sort of a grassroots thing. I'm sort of glad-handing and taking a pulse of what's out there. I am absolutely a traveling salesman. What I try and do sometimes is take things with me on the road to make me feel like I'm still sort of at home. I have a pillow that I travel with. I like to interact. It's nice to go out and see the face of the emails, live in person.
Get my picture with you?
Yeah, where's your camera?
Thank you so much.
Oh, whatever. Sure. Where's your camera?
If I want to get a hold of you as far as like scripts or anything like that, like is there email? Or
go to my website. Are you online at all?
Yes. Go to the website.
www.bruce-.
So you actually answer all the mail yourself, or you?
Yeah, if it's like but you should put in the subject heading.
Right.
Something a little more serious than like you rock. Try it again.
Evil Dead was my first film experience for me.
Yeah, Hamlet. All right, lovely.
There's a certain mentality out there that's special. You'll definitely see the adrenaline start to pump. Your eyes start to light up.
Theater, for God's sake.
Evil Dead, for example, is probably one of the first movies this particular crowd saw that was just like, wow.
Come on in. This is Tim. He's the proprietor of the establishment.
I think we're ready to go anytime you are.
Go for it. I'm ready.
Mr. Bruce Campbell.
I think the problem arises sometimes in fandom of entertainers is that they expect that person to be that character. There's a very big difference there, and I think that's where some of the confusion is, some of the gray areas are in our society. That fantasy versus reality.
They want a certain kind of you. That's what they're paying for. We actors run a very fine line of giving them what they want, but not giving too much away. When I go on stage to say hi, it's Ted Raimi up there. So I can't really hide too much behind a persona. What I have to do is to give very specific answers that aren't too personal, but not so impersonal so as the fans would be disappointed because they came to see me. My primary goal in going to these conventions is so that I can see the people who I am supposed to be entertaining and meet them to see if I am. How else does an entertainer know if he's any good?
When you come to a convention, no one cares what your race is, what's your religion, your education, how much money you make. It's like we're all here because we're fans of Star Trek, Star Wars, B5, and so we can all be friends together regardless of anything else. Now, when we leave the convention center, we may suddenly take those prejudices on again, but at least for the weekend, we can all come together as friends and have a good time.
And we try to make people realize that they can come here. It's a safe environment. They don't have to feel ostracized. There's a place where they can go where they aren't chastised for what they like, or they aren't teased for being weird or any of that. And it makes a difference in their lives because it gives them an outlet. It gives them a safe outlet for their creative energy.
They go in there to escape the bad media and have some fun.
I think what makes a typical fan is somebody who has a 9-to-5 job in the real world that wants to have the wife and the kids and all that, but they're still holding on to being a kid inside. They're still holding on to being a child. It's an escape. It's a way to get away from all of their day-to-day problems.
Exciting from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, guys.
I'm brought in to sit with them, tell jokes, and put little Billy on my knee and sign their autographs. Where are we looking?
Hold on, we're gonna look right there and see.
There you go. How are you?
How are you?
Good. What was your name?
Artemis.
Artemis, yes. Okay. There you go.
Thanks.
All right. Say when. Carol and Jeff. When people line up for 2.5 hours for an autograph, to be honest, my initial reaction is, you poor bastard, I'm sorry you had to wait so long. I wish there was a way to make it all happen faster, but of course, in order to do that, you'd have to be more impersonal.
Sorry if I scare you. I'd like to say you're a genius, and you are my idol.
Yesterday, a woman wanted me to sign slightly above her breast, and, you know, and in order to get my hand in there, I sort of had to mush upon her breast a certain amount. I'm not saying that that was a bad thing.
I'll go to a breakfast with them that the convention has arranged, and they'll sit there and they'll eat their pancakes without saying anything. You know, I have to kind of poke them and prod them to talk. When I run into a fan, sometimes they'll go, oh, you look kind of like a normal guy. Especially even when you work on a movie. If it's an action thing or something, you might train for weeks and weeks and weeks and get in really good shape, and you run around without your shirt on, and it's all makeup, and they spray you down. It's all make-believe, and then, you know, they see in reality, you know, you're at Denny's eating, and you're sort of slumping over a little bit, and you've got mustard on your chin just like everybody else. It's fans kind of get excited yet horrified at the same time. So I think within fandom, it's sort of a roadkill thing. They can't take their eyes off it.
So what's probably the most surreal moment that's ever happened to you?
A surreal. The costume event last night was pretty surreal to me. It had a fan-like frenzy yet nothing about what was on stage was familiar to me. A character would come out on stage that we've never seen before in our life, and the audience would go,
I have come to this convention to destroy you all. If any of you magical girls would dare stop me, remember, you all have short skirts, and I have tentacles.
Yeah, woo-ah. Backstage, we interviewed a number of the contestants. Could you run us through your costume?
Yeah, can we start off with basically bottonholes, bottom pants, made from a velour bathrobe with extra attachments, little craft sticks, little beads.
Did you make that?
I cut it up, and I'd love to thank my mom because she's the one that sewed it for me.
We just glue this kind of material together with the fashion and design the collar entirely with the fashion and modify this. Little jewelry, we had to make all the little jewelry pieces.
I'm Kagato. I'm the evil overlord that tries to destroy the good guys.
Painting from here on down, this is a new color for me. And then we had to spirit gum these guys on our face made out of craft foam. Standard George Washington wig teased down and modified.
I'm doing a documentary.
It's made from all pink fleece. The shoes, I've got styrofoam, plastic, traced my hand. I got a little bit of stuffing in here. Ears are also made out of padding, and the only way I can see is like a bird's eye view. This is my 20th costume.
Your 20th?
Yes, I'm looking into becoming a professional costume designer, though. So
that's a very good start. What do you got in your hand?
my CD that I'm gonna lip sync to.
What's the name of the song?
Mouth by Meryl Bainbridge.
Why'd you pick that song?
Because that's the only song that I know all the words to.
You like it here?
Yes.
What do you like about it?
Oh, I like all the fun people and it's a different atmosphere than my boring little hometown.
The first few conventions, 10 would come dressed like Xena, 5 like Gabrielle, then 20 like Xena, 10 like Gabrielle. Then like 30 people in these contests would come dressed like Xena, 15 like Gab, and like 5 like Joxer.
I work for the county, an electrician for the county, but they don't know this side of me. The man behind the mask.
As you can see, my character is Xena, Warrior Princess, and that is my name, legally changed by a judge.
Each convention you do, you find yourself in a certain situation where you can't bend this arm and you can't move in this position.
This costume is basically a leather dress, basically just like Lucy's.
So you modify it and change it and add a strap here or take a strap away or add Velcro.
I consider myself a fan of sci-fi, fantasy, especially with the medieval period.
The sword is a replica of Lucy's that was made by my friend.
My son showed a real interest in Star Wars, and we initially built him a costume of Boba Fett for Halloween. And it was so popular, I just sat down and started building an adult one. And over about the last year, I built this costume.
This outfit I've been working on for about 4 years.
And I also have the real chakra.
The helmet I actually got from a fellow in Australia. Now, if I would have gotten this done in the States, it would have probably been on upwards to $1,000, $1,500.
I've gone this far, might as well go just a little bit farther. So about 7 months ago, I decided to have some plastic surgery done, which rounded out my face a little bit more.
George Lucas, if you're out there, I'm available.
The
difference between a fan and a fanatic? We're fans. The people out there in costumes are fanatics.
Yeah.
Fanatics take it too far.
Thank you. I'm curious about fandom in general. What's your take on this whole thing?
very disturbed, lonely, incredibly strange people who find their lives empty without purpose. So they come to see guys like us.
You can film us out here. We're coming out here to pose.
With the rabbit fans, there's almost like a childlike, but not in a bad way, like an enthusiasm level that's way off the charts. And the source of that is probably metaphysical. I have no idea.
The worst it ever got for me was a fan found my house in California, was taking pictures of it outside, and they were attempting to sell it on the internet. And the gag was really on this guy because I didn't own the house. I wasn't home when he was taking the pictures. I don't know what the hell was going on. It was a little cul-de-sac. He must have been embarrassed because all our neighbors were like watching this idiot in his little white car taking pictures.
I work as a paramedic every day, and this is kind of a stress relief. You know, it gives me something to work on. I get away from that situation entirely. It removes my mind from it, and I enjoy doing it.
I know one actress who has to this day a panic button directly over her bed because she's gotten phone calls, and she's actually seen a guy looking in her window. And to me, I can't think of anything more horrifying.
It's the way I am. I feel I'm so much like the character. This is the way I want to be. I never miss an episode. I have all the episodes everyone that was done. I have my autographs. Oh yeah, my license plate on my car says WP-Xena. My email address is Xena-WP. I have got pictures all over the wall. I have got the action figures all over. Virtually every merchandise you can think of. I have all the weapons. I have the sword. On my computer, I have the screensavers. It's all over. I don't want to say my whole life is encased by it, but Lucy ever came to my apartment and she saw, like, for instance, my bedroom, she'd probably have an order taken out against me, to stay away from them, that kind of thing. You sort of think, there's no big deal. That, to me, this is no big deal.
We've never had a shooting at a Star Trek convention.
Nope.
No.
None of my friends seem to understand it. You know, they think I'm a little bit crazy for doing it, I guess. They'd probably consider me a fanatic about it, but I don't consider myself a fanatic.
It just fills a need that fiction and dreams do for us, you know? People we can idolize and identify with and admire.
What I enjoy about interacting with fans is it's just so much fun to see the energy and the love they put into it.
Peace, love, and keep watching the skies.
We're actors, and we're supposed to stay in character. These people kick our asses.
Oh, man.
Because they'll never break out of character.
So
you know, the director calls cut. We go sit down, have a cup of coffee, crack jokes, or read a book.
Yeah.
And these guys are, I'm Spock for 48 hours.
That's very weird.
That's it.
The fact that they are out there to support us is really, all kidding aside, it's pretty interesting.
Hey, baby.
Hey,
How you doing?
fine. How's the convention?
Good, I survived. I think at the end of the day, actors and the people in front of the camera and people in the public eye should be glad that people are following their work, that enjoy their work, and support their work. I think yin and yang is a good concept. It's two elements that sort of intertwine and fit, but they don't blend necessarily. They're distinct and different. You have the actor who's in front of the camera doing this, and you have the fan who's supporting it doing that. And it's a good harmonious mix as long as they don't totally blend, because they can't. It's good to strike a balance, and it's good to realize that actors do have an obligation to the fans to acknowledge them, to interact in some degree, and don't get surprised if someone comes up and says, "Hey, pal, how are you? How about a handshake?" Because they think they know you. That's cool. And fans just have to realize that as part of their yin and yang, you're not going to always be able to crawl into the head of the person that you watch on television, because they're not that character. And sometimes they do want to be left alone. So as long as the yin and yang find the perfect balance, everything's groovy. See you later.
Oh yeah, Army of Dark. That's really bad too.
Well, why is that? Is that which one's worse?
They're all the same.
They're all the same?
Yeah.
But they're not all as gross, are they?
They get goofier, don't they?
They get what?
They get goofier?
Well, they are kind of goofy, but it's so dumb.
Like, why do you think they like that?
Because it's cultish. Because
Yeah?
it's just something to... Well, you know, guys just like that kind of stuff. Like stupid movie... Well, I'm sorry. I've met guys that are really just into stupid movies that are, like, goofy and morbid and gross. Exactly like that. I mean,
So it's a
that's
guy
all
that-
they like.
it's really just
no,
a guy thing.
specific guys. I'm not saying all guys are like that, but there are a lot of specific guys that
Are they like college
that kind
guys
of
or?
unintellectual college guys. Yeah.
Unintellectual, I get it.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of dumbbells here tonight.
So what?
We have a bunch of dumbbells here tonight, I think is what you're saying.
Well, they don't necessarily have to be that dumb, but yeah,
They have to be sorted dumb in
Yeah.
order to buy it.
Yeah.